Therapist's office. Day. Sunlight struggles to push through the slatted blinds of a well-appointed office, casting long, somber shadows across the room. Dr. Ethan Cole, a man in his late 40s with a kind but weary face, sits in a plush leather armchair. Opposite him sits Lila, a young woman whose serene composure is almost unnerving. The silence is thick, broken only by the soft scratch of Ethan's pen on his notepad. He looks up, offering a professional, reassuring smile. "Ethan," softly, "and these experiences, you said they feel vivid?" Lila nods, her gaze steady and unfaltering. Her hands rest calmly in her lap. "Lila, more than vivid, Doctor. They feel lived, like memories of things that haven't happened yet. Little moments, conversations, sometimes entire days." Ethan jots down a note, his expression a careful mask of therapeutic neutrality. He's heard countless stories of anxiety-induced fantasies and delusions. Lila's case seems on the surface no different. He maintains his professional skepticism, leaning forward slightly to encourage her. "Ethan, can you give me an example?" Lila's expression doesn't change, but her eyes seem to look past him, as if watching a film only she can see. Scene 2. Int Therapist's office. Continuous. A close-up on Lila's unnervingly placid face. Her eyes are clear, her voice even. "Lila, I remember this room. I remember the way the light hits that bookshelf at this exact time of day. I remember the small, almost invisible crack in the plaster, right behind your head." Ethan's pen stills. He slowly turns, his eyes tracing the wall behind him, until they land on a faint, hairline fracture in the paint he'd never noticed before. A small, cold knot tightens in his stomach. He turns back to Lila, his professional calm beginning to fray. She watches him, her expression unchanging. "Lila," conted, "and in a moment, the blue pen on your desk is going to roll off the edge." Ethan glances at his desk. A single blue pen lies motionless, a good few inches from the edge. He forces a small, tight smile, trying to dismiss the thought, but he can't look away from it. A beat passes. Then, inexplicably, the pen gives a slight tremor and begins to roll, slowly at first, then faster, before tipping over the edge and clattering silently onto the thick rug. The sound is lost, but its impact on Ethan is deafening. Scene 3. Int Therapist's office. A week later. The atmosphere in the room is palpably tense. Ethan sits stiffly in his chair, his notepad lying untouched on the side table. He looks tired, his eyes shadowed with a sleepless anxiety he can no longer hide. Lila, however, seems different. A profound sadness has settled over her features. "Lila, I'm sorry, Doctor." "I truly am, Ethan," voice strained. "Sorry for what, Lila?" "Lila, that this will be our last session." Ethan's jaw clenches. He has spent the week trying to rationalize what happened, to find a logical explanation. He'd found none, Lila conted. "He'll be here soon. I've seen it, he's very tall. And he's always smiling." Her voice is a quiet, mournful whisper. Ethan feels a chill that has nothing to do with the room's temperature. Scene 4. Int. Therapist's office. Continuous. A sudden, sharp creak echoes from the hallway just outside the office door. Ethan jumps, his heart hammering against his ribs. The sound is mundane, the kind of noise an old building makes. But today it sounds like a death knell. Ignoring Lila's silent, pitying gaze, he rises from his chair, his movements jerky and agitated. "Ethan, stay here." He strides to the door, his hand trembling as it closes around the brass knob. He pulls it open and peers into the empty, dimly lit hallway. There is nothing there, just silence and lengthening shadows. A wave of relief washes over him, so potent it makes him feel lightheaded. It was just the building settling. He was letting her get to him. He closes the door and turns back into the room, a shaky laugh catching in his throat. Scene 5. Int Therapist's office. Continuous. The laugh dies before it can form. Standing in the corner of the room, partially obscured by the shadows he'd been so focused on moments before, is a man. He's impossibly tall, his head nearly brushing the ceiling, and he is smiling, a wide, fixed, unnatural grin. Ethan's face contorts into a mask of pure, primal terror. He stumbles back, his legs weak. "Lila," voice heavy with resignation. "I've lived this moment so many times, Doctor. I've tried to warn you in different ways. I've screamed, I've stayed silent. It never changes." Ethan's horrified gaze is locked on the smiling figure. He can't breathe, he can't move. The man takes a single, slow, deliberate step forward, the movement utterly silent. As the figure emerges further from the shadows, Ethan understands. This isn't a delusion, this isn't a trick. This is the end of a story that was written long before he ever opened his door to Lila. And he has just lived out the final page. Scene end.